Welcome back. We're nearly 1 year into the Biden-Harris administration, and many voters are feeling buyer's remorse. In a New York Post op-ed titled, "Why Young Black People Like Me Are Feeling Let Down" by Kamala Harris, a 26-year-old says he is frustrated with the vice president's performance and believes that she isn't following through on her campaign promises. Joining us now direct is a first-generation Black American and a high school senior, 17-year-old Daniel Idfresne. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Daniel, you say that the president, the vice president, they're out of touch.
Oh yeah, they're definitely out of touch. One of the things that Black Americans really want to see in their communities is safety, police officers. They want to see better education, but Democrats aren't delivering on that. Instead, they're giving us a Build Back Better plan with priorities that are definitely not in tune with Black Americans or any American.
What do you think Black folks need in their communities today to lift us up?
Well, one thing is role models. And when Black Americans vote for Kamala Harris, they expect a role model. But all role models are supposed to be competent, and Kamala Harris and the Biden administration has been anything but competent.
When you look at the vice president and you say that she's incompetent, what do you think are some of the failures that she's had in this administration?
Well, we can point to the border crisis, how she failed to take charge in that, and we can talk about what the administration has failed to do overall. One of them being inflation. When you are a Black American or any American who does not make a lot of money, every single penny counts, and they're really hurting the pocketbooks of all Americans, not only Black Americans.
I want to read you an excerpt from that op-ed. It says, "Harris is supposed to be an ally, but has let us down after the past year. I would love it if Democrats stop trying to make everyone who looks like me feel like they have to be a Democrat. Who would want to support that party when the administration has failed?" What is your reaction to that?
Well, I wholeheartedly agree. It fascinates me. Well, first, I have no problem with people voting for somebody who looks like them, especially Black Americans, because again, we don't have enough role models. We don't have fathers in the home, and we look towards people who may not be, who may not show what success is. But those leaders have to be competent, and we have to say, or we have to look at them and say, okay, I agree with what you're doing, or at least what you're doing will help us become a better nation overall, and that's not what's happening right now.
When you look at the Kamala Harris right now, here's the approval rating right now. It's at 28% of Americans approve, and then there's the 51% that disapprove amongst all Americans. Does that surprise you when you look at the performance that she's had so far?
It doesn't really. I mean, we, as Americans, we all hope for the best, even though I may not support Biden's policies or Kamala Harris's policies. We all want them to run the country properly. But if you can't even keep the country running at a baseline, and then on top of that, then you can work on your priorities, then it's not really surprising that the disapproval rating is this high.
Daniel, there's a lot of people watching this interview, and they're saying, what's next for Daniel? What do you see yourself doing after you graduate from school?
Well, I'm definitely into politics, and so you'll see me around here a bit more. But yeah, politics, and I like philosophy a bit, and so that's what I'm pursuing personally.
Do you see yourself going to college? Or are you going to go straight into public service, start a business? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, that's a very interesting question, honestly. I tried to completely dodge the college route, but ultimately I do believe that, especially when it comes to politics, political philosophy, trying to understand how our world works, I think it is important for me to go to college. Well, which college that I will be going to, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, if you ever decide that you want to give up philosophy or running a business, you can always just have my job, brother. It's all yours. Daniel, thanks so much for joining the program.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.